What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, Polygon Matic'S price is down about 10% over the last couple of days, and many people are curious, is this the beginning of a stronger pullback to the downside? Is this just a little short-term retracement? Is this something we should be worried about? Well, I'm going to do my best to answer that today as best and as quickly as possible. So, looking at Polygon Matic, this move right here does not concern me. I am not all too worried about this 10% pullback, and I know sometimes losing 10% of the value of your portfolio for a couple days sucks, but it's very normal. Kind of get used to it if you are in the world of crypto. Now, I want to talk about why this is normal and why this is rather expected. So first and foremost, what we have to understand is that Matic has done an absolutely amazing job over the last few months of making progress. This is something most cryptos aren't doing, right? In the short term, they're up, but Matic has been on this move for months and months and months at this given point, okay? So in the macro, when you just zoom out a little bit, first and foremost, this isn't anything to be concerned about. But not only that though, what we can see is that from this all-time high that we put in to that bear market low that we put in, Matic is now in the 618 to 786 Fibonacci golden zone. This is the most important zone. If this zone rejects us to the downside, it is usually a scenario in which we could bounce back 40%, right? Look back over here. We got rejected off of this zone and we saw a push all the way of 45% to the downside. What's beautiful about this zone though is that once we do start to work our way within it, once we can finally clear it, that usually does put us in a position to pass that previous high that we had put in this example, that all-time high over $3. So what's amazing is that we're already in a position in which we could be retesting that all-time high with just a couple more moves to the upside here in the macro. And so because of that, again, this also doesn't necessarily concern me because you have to understand this. When you break into a massive level of resistance, you are almost always going to come back down to reestablish it as support. There's a couple reasons that this happens. First and foremost, you are going to need to see the bulls kind of relax. Obviously, it took a lot of bullish momentum to get into this zone. Look what happened back here. They couldn't even get us in here before we got pushed back down, right? This time around, we worked our way up to it and we started to slow down, pull back, and boom, that last push to the top side to enter into the zone finally for the bull. So that takes a lot of strength. Look at your RSI losing momentum because of how hard it was to get into here. So obviously, whenever we make a move of that nature, the bears are going to try to kick back in, and the bulls, while they are somewhat, let's just say, resting, we are going to see the price typically pull back and retest that previous level of resistance. This is what you will usually see as an RS flip, or a resistance to support flip, in which we will look to establish support on a previous point of resistance and get that bullish confirmation that this is a sustainable price move. Now, not only that though, you can see again, just structurally, this is a very important level around, say, $1.25. We had a previous support establishment here and here and here as we built out this base before that big Luna and Celsius and Voyager crash had happened. And so the moment that we lost these levels here, that was when all hell broke loose for Matic. So obviously, this previous base that we had right here, we are going to want to try to reestablish now that we are above it. And so obviously, again, we're in a position in which we need to come retest it. And so what I'm looking at this given point is that structurally and Fibonacci based, we are simply just coming back down to try to reestablish support on this previous point of resistance from $1.30 to $1.25. One thing you can also see is on the daily Bollinger Bands, we are seeing the 20 simple moving average lining up directly within that little range too. We got fully overextended to the top side here outside of that daily Bollinger Band. And when we do that, we will typically come back to that 20 simple moving average. And that's simply what we're doing right now, is at least coming back to retest it. Now, we very well may lose it, and then we are in a position in which we may really continue to the downside. But at this given point, we've not done that. We're simply just coming back down to retest. And so where I'm at with this thing right now is I wouldn't even be remotely concerned about this until we lost $1.25 on the daily charts. Now, is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. We know that Polygon Matic likes to move in waves of 5. And so what you can see here on the dailies is we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, right? And so very well, what we could see is some type of stronger correction to the downside, right? In which we put in maybe a wave, we bounce off of it, we put in a B wave, a C wave to the downside, in which we come back to retest, say, this previous point of resistance. That is very possible, but that's not where we're at yet. Where we're at right now is that we are still above a massive level of resistance, which very well may flip into some support here. And as long as we hold $1.25, I really don't think that there's a cause for concern. So what I'm going to go ahead and say for for this video right now. If you do want to do some accumulating, it's not a terrible idea, right? If you want to make some purchases in here expecting that we might hold support and look for continuation, again, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. What I would say is that putting a stop loss, say around $1.20 to maybe even a little bit lower under this, around $1.10, wouldn't be a bad idea, because again, if we do start to get capitulations within, you know, from below this previous point of resistance, yeah, then we may be in a situation in which we may try to reestablish it as resistance, or maybe put in, you know, of course, like our ABC wave below it, which would kind of suck a bit. So if we say put in A, we back test, we reestablish here, and then we get the stronger C wave back to the downside, that's always within the realm of possibility. I don't necessarily see that happening, but you never know. So what I would just go ahead and say is that accumulating at this given point while we are in a bit of a pullback is not a bad idea, but I would start adding some stop losses at this given point just to protect yourself from some downside pulls over the next couple weeks as we do start to see this market play out and see if Bitcoin is going to be able to clear $25,000. But while we are above $1.25, I'm not even concerned. I'm not even worried whatsoever. I am very confident that support very well might get established, and so I am just going to kind of sit back, relax, and watch as this thing does play out to the bottom side. We're starting to see a lot of retracements already. You look at something like our 3-hourly, nearly getting a pull back to the oversold territory, quote unquote oversold territory. You can look at your 4 hours. This thing is relatively close also. You look at your hourlies, this thing is already there. And so in my opinion, I mean, we're already at the point in which we are seeing this thing reset. And so I think that, you know, even if we pull another couple percentages down to the downside, you know, maybe another 10% to retest $1.25, we should be in a position in which we can establish a low. So as this thing does play out, of course, I will continue to update you all. I did post about this just yesterday. If we get rejected off of $1.50, we will likely see further continuation back towards $1.30. As you can see, that did start to play out, you know, pretty much right after that I did send out that newsletter. That newsletter is completely for free. It is down in the description below. You get access to a lot. My technical analysis, I give you some upcoming coins I'm excited about, some news, I give you, you know, a glance at crypto, I give you some of my thoughts, my market analysis, etc. And again, it is all completely for free, and it is in the description down below. So overall, that is about it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, you can always let me know easily and simply by smashing that like button and subscribing so you don't miss the next video where we cover this fall from here. So with that said, I will see you all very soon. Peace.